Our final presentation is about a lake in the north region of Brazil, and the name of the lake is Lake Tupé. And our group is Patricia, Mauricio, and Yuri. Location: the Tupé Lake is situated on South America, in Brazil, more specific at the north of Brazil, around 25 kilometers of Manaus city. The Lake Tupé is situated on the Amazon forest that is characterized as a rainforest. It has almost no dry seasons, with rainfall concentrated mainly between January and May. The temperature is hot and constantly moist. The mean temperature varies between 25 and 30 degrees Celsius. The lake basin has steep banks, a triangular-shaped cross-section with an irregular wedge-shaped V shifted to the right margin, and laterally protected against the action of winds by a dense vegetation from the trees. The Lake Tupé has a surface area of 66.9 hectares in the low water period and 68 hectares in the high water period.
Physical-chemical characters. Temperature and dissolved oxygen are related in the data collection performed between periods of 2002 and 2011. The water temperature had greater oscillation in the more superficial layers, with a range between 27.9 degrees Celsius and 32.4 degrees Celsius. The deeper water layers, however, did not show the same oscillation intensity, ranging from 27 degrees Celsius to 27.5 degrees Celsius. The dissolved oxygen as a percentage of gas saturation had a very similar behavior to that of the water temperature, with high OD concentrations in the most superficial layers, ranging from 27.6% to 148.6%, and low variation in the deeper layers of the lake, ranging from 0% total anoxia to just 80%. The graphics show clearly the points for physical and chemical stratification in the Lake Tupé, near the depth of 5 meters. It is noted that during the several years of studies there is only a partial mixture of the upper layers. In fact, Lake Tupé is a lake of difficult circulation, with evidence of mixtures only in the most superficial layers at all periods and variation of water level, which characterizes a meromorphic lake, unlike many lakes polymorphic of the Amazon. It should be mentioned that at Station 9 and Station 10 points, located in the central and deepest area of the lake, which reaches up to 15 meters in the flood, the highest concentration of dissolved oxygen in percentage of saturation occur always during periods of drought, when dissolved oxygen reaches its highest values and remain between 100 and 150%. Lake Tupé, its banks are very high, and the same is partially surrounded by forest. There is little direct influence of the winds on this mirror of water. The result of this phenomenon is the almost no existence of lake waves, which reduce the possibility of total mixing of the water column, also contributing to the stratification of the lake. In addition, in this process, it's of fundamental importance to consider the difference in the water density with temperature variation, especially in this region where temperatures in the epithelium of the lake, especially in Tupé, can reach 24 degrees Celsius. Thus, in the Amazon, small temperature difference can establish stable physical and chemical stratifications. It is worth remembering that the amount of work required to mix masses of stratified water between 22 and 33 degrees Celsius is 40 times greater than that required to mix the same masses between 4 and 5 degrees Celsius. Nitrogen concentrations measured in the period were 0.04 to 0.27 ppm in water, 0.82 to 7.64 ppm in soil, and between 2.62 and 31.65 ppm in the sediment. Although the highest concentrations were observed in the sediment, the highest part amplitude occurred in the water, demonstrating that there is a great fluctuation of nitrogen contents as a function of the water level. Phosphorus concentration ranged between 0.01 to 0.04 ppm in water, between 0.10 and 0.59 in soil, and between 0.46 and 3.97 ppm in the sediment. Note that in case of phosphorus, the water and sediment factors showed high point oscillation, suggesting a correlation between the two compartments, probably in relation to the deposition and release of phosphorus. In relation to the spatial and temporal distribution of total nitrogen and phosphorus in the Lake Tupé, a trend was observed for higher concentration in the central lake area. This concentration is mainly due to the morphometry of the lake, which, because of this V morphometry and which with a slope facing the central area, allowed the accumulation of sediments rich in nutrients in this region. During the rainy season, the river waters communicate with the streams, and the floodplains receive new layers of sediments rich in nutrients. For this reason, the Lake Tupé periodically receives contributions of clear waters originating from the streams and black waters from the Rio Negro, with different loads of suspended material and carried sediments.
Biological characteristics. The Amazon is known as the main biodiversity center in the world, and insects represent the group of living beings with the largest number of species. So there is a great importance in the evaluation of benthic organisms present in this region as a way of evaluating the environment in relation to natural changes and human activities. Sampling location. The samples were carried out on 3 banks of an Igapo in the region of Tupé Lake. In each margin was established a cross-section of 50 meters in length and took a sample every 10 meters, making a total of 5 samples in each place each month. The collections were carried out from May to December 2004 and January to March 2005. In the samples were identified 3,393 insects representing 7 orders: Ephemeroptera, Odonata, Coleoptera, Heteroptera, Trichoptera, Diptera, and Hymenoptera. The Chironomidea Diptera was the most representative, being present in about 60% of the samples and being considered of constant occurrence in these 3 environments studied. The Leptophlebidea Euphemeroptera, with 278 individuals, represented 8% of the total samples and was the second most representative. The Polycentropodidea Trichoptera, with 184 individuals, representing 5.5% of total sample. And Cyanidea Euphemeroptera, with 176 individuals, representing 5.2% of the total sampled. Leptophlebidea and Polycentropodidea registered here are usually considered as very sensitive, and their occurrence indicates low degradation in the environment. The greatest number of families was obtained in the flood period. This corresponds to the period in which aquatic animals have more favorable living conditions. Because with the flooding of the forest of Igapo, the fallen leaves and the soil and the roots are covered by the waters, increasing availability of nutrients and the amount of substrate to be colonized by invertebrates. Unlike in the dry season, November and December, the water level is quite low. During the drought, the sandy beaches are little colonized by vegetation, and the low supply of nutrients is also reflected in the low concentration of animals in the Igapo.